We begin this morning with the man who was killed after shooting near the White House. A bystander was also shot and is in critical condition. An eyewitness captured the sounds of the rapid-fired gunshots there. The Secret Service says it happened near a security checkpoint. The president was at the residence. The White House was immediately placed on lockdown and officers were mobilized. The tense moment of journalists on White House grounds reacting to the threat was also caught on camera.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
That was ABC's Selena Wang. Now, the correspondent was recording a social media video when she heard those shots. She ducked for cover, as you saw.
Julia Binbrook is standing by. Julia, you were there. You had just finished doing a live shot for us when all of this happened. Walk everyone through what you heard, what you saw, and what we're hearing about President Trump, who is there at the White House tonight.
That's right. President Donald Trump was here at the White House as this happened. Secret Service has confirmed he was not impacted by this incident in any way. But as we were standing here, I was speaking with you, Jessica, and had just walked toward the press briefing room, just had opened the door when I heard what appeared to be gunshots, dozens of gunshots. It was this repeated noise, so much so that we thought it might be fireworks at first. And that's when my photographer, Joe Wagner, was out here on the lawn. This is his video right here. As you can see, the reporters who were out here still doing their hits, they were told to move, to get inside quickly, and everyone took off running. You can see Secret Service trying to make sure that the area is secured there on the north lawn. And then as we got inside, we were then on lockdown for about 40 minutes and just a lot of questions about what had taken place. And a very scary moment. We now know that the suspect had taken out a weapon and was shot by Secret Service. We also know that a bystander was shot. It is unclear if those shots came from the suspect or in return fire.
Let's go to CNN's Brian Todd live in D.C. Brian, good morning to you. What have you learned about this gunman and what happened?
Well, Victor, we have new information on the suspect from our colleagues Josh Campbell, Holmes Lybrand, and Evan Perez. They cite 3 law enforcement sources as saying that the suspect is identified as 21-year-old Nazir Best. According to one source, Best did have previous encounters with the Secret Service. Our source is telling us that in June of 2025, he blocked an entry lane at the White House. At that moment, he apparently claimed that he was God, and after that, he was admitted for psychiatric evaluation. A month later, in July of 2025, he was arrested after attempting to enter a White House complex driveway, and the judge ordered him to stay away from the White House grounds. According to our sources, he had also made several statements on social media, including at least one with stating some kind of an intent to harm President Trump. And speaking of President Trump, he did respond to this shooting in a post on Truth Social. Here's part of it. He said, quote, "This event is 1 month removed from the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting and goes to show how important it is for all future presidents to get what will be the most safe and secure safe and secure space of its kind ever built in Washington, D.C. The national security of our country demands it," end quote, from the president. He's referring, of course, to his construction of the White House ballroom there, which he has emphasized after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. That's the best place he believes to have that event. He believes that would be more secure at the White House. Now, taking you down through the scene here, we were here late last night when the police were combing through the scene. Our photojournalist Christine Leon is going to zoom past me down to the scene right there, straight down the block. We're at 18th and Pennsylvania Avenue. The shooting was right down there at 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue. We still have a police presence. We still have streets cordoned off as a result of the shooting. Now, what I can tell you also is that right to the left of that shooting scene there is Lafayette Park. It's to the left and about a half a block down, Lafayette Square Park. But Lafayette Square Park has been closed off, fenced off because of construction for several months now. because of that, you cannot enter Lafayette Park and you can't go in front of the White House as you might usually do on Pennsylvania Avenue. There is an open street there where you can go in front of the White House. But I say all that to tell you that the gunman got about as close as he could to the White House at that point, at that checkpoint there where the gunfire occurred. As Victor mentioned, the bystander was struck by gunfire. It is unclear whether the bystander was hit by the gunman's initial shots or whether the gunman, the ensuing gunfire was what injured the bystander. The bystander is in critical condition. We hope to get some more information on their condition in the coming hours. Victor?
Brian Todd, live from Washington for us this morning. Brian, thank you for that. We're joined now by CNN law enforcement analyst Jonathan Wackrow, former Secret Service agent and corporate security consultant. Jonathan, good to see you this morning. First, let's just start broadly with your assessment of how Secret Service handled this threat.
Well, good morning, Victor. And what we witnessed yesterday was this immediate action situation by the uniformed division officers of the Secret Service. These are the uniformed police that most often operate right around the White House complex. The situation that they were faced yesterday is something that they train for continuously. Once an armed individual approaches the White House complex or any one of these checkpoints, right where Brian was standing, and is actively firing or presents as an immediate threat, officers have milliseconds, not minutes, to identify the threat, engage, and then neutralize it. Why? Because just look at the area and the high concentration of public that would be around that area at all times. The White House, I spent 5 years there. The White House remains one of the most symbolically and operationally significant targets in the world. And what we see constantly are people showing up day in and day out, engaging with uniformed division officers who may have they may be some sort of ideologically motivated actor, someone who has mental challenges, or someone that wants notoriety. So when I was at the White House, we constantly knew that this was one of the most high-risk locations in the world. The actions that were taken yesterday by the Secret Service were immediate, and they prevented more loss of life in the area. So from my perspective and what I analyze, they did a great job yesterday in identifying and neutralizing this threat before more harm could be caused.
Brian just shared the new reporting about the details about this suspected gunman, Nasir Best, according to several sources. Last July, he was there at the White House, was blocking an entry lane at the White House, claimed he was God. And then returned to the complex driveway. A judge demanded that he stay away from the White House. How common is it for this type of escalation after those earlier incidents?
Well, Victor, this is a very typical profile of somebody who shows up as what we would refer to as a gate caller in the past at the White House. The suspect really his behavior really reflects this clear escalation pattern, which we see in protective intelligence investigations. What I mean by that is those prior encounters demonstrated what we refer to as persistent boundary testing behavior, in which Secret Service see that as a warning indicator in a threat assessment matrix. Those repeated approaches to the White House, in what we saw in what we hear from the reporting, is that his behavior was increasingly delusional and grievance-driven. That makes a very volatile individual in somebody who's moving down the pathway to violence very quickly, moving from what we would report as fixation initially into this operational action that we saw yesterday that was addressed by the Secret Service.